How's it going, everybody? So I have 5 tips how to name your baby, and then afterwards I have 5 girl names and 5 boy names that are some of my favorites, but we unfortunately won't be using. And at the end of everything, we will be sharing our baby's name, which is very exciting. We've been calling her, she, little girl, my little one, whatever. I'm over saying that. As she's kicking me right now, I'm so excited to share the name with. It's so cheesy. I don't know why I'm so cheesy, but I'm just so excited. We've been waiting a very long time. We've been hiding it from social media. We haven't been saying it to anybody but very, very close friends and our closest family members, so not everyone knows. So it's very exciting to share it on my vlog first. My first tip for naming your baby would be find out what your style is. There's several different styles, and this helps narrow the lists. You know, if you're looking for a baby's name, that there's 8 million lists in the world. I say find your style. David and I tend to go towards vintage and meaningful names. We like the older style names. Look at all the different lists. See what you tend to go towards. There's classical, vintage, unique, and meaningful. Both meaningful, look at your family's names. We looked at all of our great-grandparents, our great-great-grandparents, our parents, and so on. Think of those meaningful names to those people that you love that are close to you, and also look at the meaning of names. Every name has a meaning, and some things you just don't want to name your child because, and I'll explain that later on. My second tip would be think of things that you love, whether it be a book, a novel, an author. Personally, I love Shakespeare. I love all the Shakespearean names, Ophelia, Thea. Those are some of my favorite names. Unfortunately, we're not using any of those. I tend to like and go towards things that you have good correlation with. For girls and boys, we had a hard time. You can just think of one bad kid in school that used to bully everybody, or one bratty girl that you don't want to name them after. So there's always bad correlations with names. It's inevitable. You can't help think about it. I couldn't help think about it. If you correlate it to something that you like or that you love, odds are you're probably going to end up liking that name as well. My third tip is once you find a couple names that you think that you like, look up the meanings to those names. Sometimes a name can be thrown off or become distasteful because of the meaning. Never would I want to name my child something that means boy. You know, she can want to be a boy, whatever it may be, but why would I ever want to name my baby girl, who is a girl, a name that means something super masculine or something that just doesn't even make sense at all? So make sure that your meanings correlate with what you wish them to be. It's just natural for us to think of meanings. So meanings can really tie it all together for you or completely crumble it. You should rather have a hard set yes or no than the in-between names that you kind of can live with, because this is your baby's name. You're going to hear it for the rest of your life, and your child's going to hear it for the rest of their life. So it does mean a lot. And my fourth tip, which is completely impossible, is try to wait until you know the gender of your baby. I know it's impossible. People talk about names when they start dating even. David and I are guilty as charged. We talked about it way before we even knew we were pregnant, obviously. And not that it ruins it, but there is a sense of like excitement once you find names that you do like. And then you start to imagine your baby as that gender. And then your baby is probably not that gender. That is exactly what happened to us. We fell in love with probably 5 boy names right off the bat, and we could not find a girl's name that we actually liked. So after a long time, we started imagining this little baby blank because we want to save those names just in case we do have a boy soon. And you just start to envision your life with this child that you've already named and that you have already thought of. And it was just very hard because when you share those hopes and dreams with family members or with friends, which we did, when we did find out we were having a girl, and we were so excited to be, they felt bad in a way. Like they were all like, are you okay with this? And of course we were okay with this. We wanted a healthy, happy baby. But when you start to share names and start to share ideas and dreams for your child with others, it tends to not ruin, but lower the excitement when it doesn't turn out the way you wish. So I would just say keep your mouth shut, which is impossible for me, and try as long as possible to wait towards the gender reveal. If you're the type of person that can come up with a name for each gender, awesome for you. David and I brought it down to about 5 names that we liked for each, and it was just one of those things that we just had the hardest time with the girl names. So we tend to fall in love with the boy names, and we started to dream this dream of having this little boy, and now we're having a little girl. And my 5th tip advice is repeat, repeat, and repeat again. I can't even tell you how many times I was repeating the name that we finally fell in love with to make sure I didn't get sick of it. There weren't any nicknames I didn't know of. Repeat it in every way, in every fashion. Blank, come down and do your homework. Blank, come and clean this. Say it 8 million times in so many different ways and see how you like it. Think of every nickname that you can come up with for this particular name. That will help you. I personally love a particular name, but the nickname drives me crazy. My middle name is Victoria. If my first name was Victoria, I'm sure people would be calling me Icky Vicky all the time. That's not cool to me. So kids can be cruel. Think of nicknames. So it all matters in the end, only because this is your child. You want them to own their name and almost have their name embody who they are to you. You just want to make sure that the name that you choose doesn't annoy the heck out of you, because you're going to be saying it a lot and they're going to be living with it for the rest of their life. So I'm telling you, just scream it around the house when you're home alone. Scream it and make sure that you love it, because you're going to be screaming it someday and you don't want to be screaming something that you end up hating. So now we're going to go through some of our favorite baby names, boys and girls, and I'll go through the meaning and the origin of that baby's name, just in case anybody else falls in love with these names. So these are not in any order at all, but the first name is Petra. Petra means rock and originates from the Greek meaning Petros, which also translates as rock or stone. Petra I actually got from Jane the Virgin, which is kind of ridiculous. Petra's actually the nemesis. She's not even like a good person in the show. I just love the name. I love how it's said. I love the meaning. Petra might have more of a masculine undertone when it comes to the meaning, but it's a positive masculine meaning. I want my girls to be strong, and I want them to be strong-willed and confident. So Petra meaning rock and strong, that's perfect for me. My second favorite would be Arya. Arya, obviously, if you're a Game of Thrones junkie like I am, you love too. I love every form of this name. Arya with an I, with a Y, Ariana, all of these names I love. So the meaning is heir, and it's originally an Italian name or a Latin name. So we won't be using that just because of the popularity of it, but it is a favorite. Serena. I love Serena. It means clear or tranquil, and it is originally a Latin name. I think Serena is such a beautiful name. It's serenity, you know, it's serene, Serena. It's beautiful, it's easy to say, it's easily not confused with anything else. I got this name, obviously. I am such a TV junkie, it's awful, it makes me sound awful. I do like to read. Gossip Girl. I love Serena on Gossip Girl. She is such a funky, cool girl. And I have a girl crush on Serena Vanderwoodson, so I'm sorry. My fourth favorite would be Alania. It's said a lot of different ways in a lot of different languages. Alania is the French derivative of Helena, which is Greek. And from Helena, people were naming their children Elaine, and from Elaine became Elania. So there's a lot of different names. Once again, I love all of the derivatives except for Elaine. I kind of think of Seinfeld, but that's not even a bad thing either because she's hilarious. But Alania is one of my favorites. Alania. My last favorite girl's name, which is probably my all-time favorite girl's name that we won't be using strictly because I annoyed myself with it, is Juliana. I love the name Juliana. It is one of my favorite names in the whole wide world. I am obsessed with this name. I got Juliana from Juliet, from Romeo and Juliet, because I am a Shakespeare lover. I don't love Juliet as much as I love Juliana. No hate at all. I just Jewel, Julie, Jewel, 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 Jewel. I said it 18 million times to the point where I wanted to shoot myself in the head. So I am not going to be naming my daughter this, although I love it so much. Juliana. Juliana. Juliana means youthful, and it is Latin. Petra, Aria, Serena, Alania, and Juliana. Can you get a thing that I like A's at the end of names? It's awful. My top 5 boy names are all mostly Greek and Italian. I tend to just go towards Latin names generally. So the first one is Antonio. I love Antonio. The name means worthy of praise, and it is Latin. Antonio is strong, and it's not Anthony like everyone. If you know my family, I have several Tonys in my name. My dad's name went by Tony, my brother's Anthony, my nephew's Tony. So we already have 3 Tonys, and as funny as it would be to bring in another Tony, I don't think I'm going to be doing that if we ever have a boy. So Antonio is unfortunately on our don't list, but I do love the name. My second favorite is Kingsley. Kingsley. It is originally English, and it means King's Meadow or Woods. And well, obviously King comes out of it. Kingsley. It's just a nice, strong, sturdy, confident name. The reason why it's on our don't list is maybe it could come off a little bullish or overconfident, if you know what I mean. My third would be Lucas. I love Lucas. Lucas is Latin and means illumination or light giving, which is a wonderful, awesome name for a little boy. I may be switching some of these names to the do list, but that's okay. I'll share with you guys anyways. My fourth favorite is Elijah. I love Elijah. It is such a cool name. It's such a sweet name. Elijah originates from Hebrew, means Yahweh is God. I love Elijah. Everything about Elijah I love. David actually has a tattoo in Hebrew that means Yahweh. So it's just very cool. I love the name. I love the meaning. But unfortunately, our best friends, the ones that gift me all of the cool things that I always talk about, and the ones that allowed us to use their land for our wedding, Dave and Paula, they have an Eli. So I'm not going to name our kid Elijah and have like 2 little Elijahs running around, although that would be pretty adorable. I'll let them keep their name, and we'll think of a better name. No, I'm just kidding. But I love Elijah. It is the cutest name, and Eli is like the cutest nickname ever. Eli. Hey Eli. Oh, he's so cute. So I love Elijah. I'm all for it. I wish I could use it, but I won't be. Our 5th one will be Leo. I love the name Leo. Leo is Latin. It means lion. I love that. I want a strong man of the house. Hopefully he'll be strong and manly when he's older. Who knows? Leo was strongly on my top 5 for a long time because of the Mindy project. I'm obsessed with Mindy Lahiri, or Mindy Kaling, and she named her son on the show Leo, and I think that's just the sweetest name ever. The Latin and Italian little pull to it, Leo Tendo. I could see that, but it's on our maybe list, so I'm gonna share it anyways. But those are our top 10 baby names that we will not be using. So stay tuned, and very soon we'll be sharing with you our baby girl's name. I'm officially at 20 weeks. Woohoo! Halfway there, finally. She is kicking and flipping like you wouldn't believe. She is so active, it scares me. So hopefully she is not this active when she comes out and she can sleep all night, but we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. we're naming our little girl Talia Carmela Tundo. So there's a couple reasons why we love Talia. One, there's no nicknames to it. Two, Natalia, where we pulled it from, means born near Christmas, which is perfect because our due date's December 13th. And again, Talia, it just seemed right. We don't know anybody by that name personally. We love that. And people that I've told the name to that know Talias say they're beautiful and they're sweet and they're some of the best people they know. So I've never heard anything negative about Talia. Don't ruin it for me in the comments. But we are absolutely in love with the name Talia. And Carmela as the middle name because David's grandmother, Grandma Tundo, her middle name is Carmela. We're using her middle name to pull some family tie into it. We have lots of boy names with one of my family members, so he got the girl middle name. So Talia Carmela Tundo. We can't wait to meet Talia Tundo. TT, she's just, we hope she's the most beautiful thing in the world, and I'm sure she will be. So I'm glad to share that with you guys, and we're super excited. So comment below if you like the name, if you don't like the name, if you like any of the names on the list, if you plan to use any of them, and tell me what you think. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye.